want to support the platform just in case anything like this happens again, you can do it by way of PayPal, Patreon, Cash App, and also by the Anchor. And you can also further support the platform by way of going to the Teespring store or the shoe store that is located in the comment section below.
Two guys that like they go to restaurants and they act like a complete fool. You know, I don't know what's his name. He's really brolic and he be dancing all crazy. And then there's the other one that he just do too much for me. So I've been seeing petitions for people to ban them on social media and everything. And I feel like I'm gonna get dragged because I don't have and I feel like I'm gonna get dragged because I don't have the popular opinion. Because they have a community supporting them. And every single time that somebody's doing the same thing from the fucking community, y'all wanna bring them out, do petitions to get. They are not doing anything wrong, but being cheesy and corny. I'd rather they become rich. Look how Jake Paul became rich. Jake Paul used to do the most corniest content ever. His content was so corny and cringy. I never found it amusing. But guess what? The kids found it amusing. And now this man got he owns $1 million mansions, getting $3 million fucking fights, made a whole fucking career, making more money than rappers. Come on now, bro. Y'all need to stop being crabs in a barrel. Oh, but they look like jive turkeys. They look like this. They look like that. What y'all want them to look like? Y'all want them to be hood niggas? If they cheesy and corny, let that shit be. Come on now, bro. That shit is lame. I don't like when people do things to take money out of other people's pockets. Cause that's how these young men are getting paid.
Hello, monkeys.
Got everybody on the post thinking he's a strong black buck. White boys envy his strength, his speed, power in his swing. Then this colored champion lets those same white boys call him Shine or Sambo. Got everybody on the post thinking he's a strong black buck. White boys envy his strength, his speed, power in his swing. Then this colored champion lets those same white boys call him Shine.
Yes, it would.
You know the damage one ignorant Negro can do.
You're gonna keep running, monkey, aren't you? Like a little circus chimp. You have to meet your problems head on. Face it, monkey.
Wherever you have to go, just get away. Because there's no fixing this. This can't be
White boys
fixed.
had told all them French gals that we had tails. Then they found this ignorant colored soldier. Paid him to tie a tail to his ass and run around half naked making monkey sounds. But the white boys had told all them French gals that we had tails. Then they found this ignorant colored soldier. Paid him to tie a tail to his ass and run around half naked making monkey sounds.
So I'm pretty sure you were able to see the video that I put together. I put it together for a very specific reason to get a point across, just in case of those of you who don't happen to know the history and why it is that Black Americans find these type of actions detrimental to the image of an already fractured and broken image of Black Americans. Black Americans have been demonized. Black Americans have been talked down about. Black Americans have been negatively impacted by negative imagery throughout the history of the United States in order to make us seem less than, in order to make us seem or deem us as subhuman, and to out of nowhere have individuals such as this who, when you look at them, you would kind of or try to identify them as Black American if you didn't know. But then to find out that at least one of them, Big Groove, is Nigerian, and this is the way that he decides that he wants to, make a living directly off of how it is that Black Americans were characterized, because there were Black men like him who were big guys, who were muscular, and they were buck broken. They were made to breed, sometimes with their own families, in order to keep a certain type of, you know, muscular physique or hard working slave directly on the fields. These same men, like Big Groove, were also made to fight Mandingo style. And, the winner was the winner because the other guy was dead. You had other instances where if somebody like Big Groove was the biggest and the strongest of them all, Hulk, right? They were made to be broken in front of all of the slaves and also in front of the slave hands. And not only that, you would have the slave masters and the slave hands, and more than likely others from plantations across the area to come there and to also, how can I put this nicely? Take pleasure in breaking somebody such as Big Groove. And this is why it's a necessity for Black Americans to teach the history. This is why it is important for us to teach the past so that our children will know how to register certain images once they are put directly in front of them. Because what happens a lot with the past, due to the fact that a lot of people don't know the past, it's very easy for the people that are in power at this moment in time, that are in control of advertisement and entertainment and music, to throw a lot of those images directly in front of you, and you don't even know what it is. It wasn't that long ago I showcased the fact of the ice cream song is in fact a racist song amongst many other songs. And the ice cream song has been remixed into many different other songs. So, again, it is imperative that Black Americans just so happen to teach the history of the past, the history of our elders. It is very important that we give our kids the books so that they can have that knowledge, so that no matter what it is that people decide to teach in their schools or tell them, they know exactly what the truth is. Because a lot of people want to move the goalpost once it is that Black people catch up. It's like, oh, they caught up to racism. Let's move it a little bit further. Oh, we're not really racist because, that was so long ago. And, that was people who don't even exist. When realistically, a lot of their elders from the 60s and the 70s and the 80s that had that same mentality, their grandparents and great grandparents, they still exist. They're still around, which means that racist history is actually still around, which means that it's actually being taught, is being given, is being handed over, is being woven into the next generation after the next generation after the next generation, therefore carrying it on. The only difference is it's being masked by what today is and what it represents, which is a reality of where a lot of people say that, oh, racism doesn't exist. The past is the past. There's no reason to learn and understand that history, because we're in the here and now, and the people that were there are there. We are right now. So let's focus on what it is that we have now versus focusing in on the past, because if we focus on the past, we'll never be able to look towards the future. That's incorrect. That is incorrect. You can do two things at once. You can focus on the past, and you can still focus on the future. In order for me to know where it is that I'm going to go, where it is that I'm walking, I have to understand my history and my past so that I don't fall or trip up on things that are pretty much similar to the things that happened before I was even in existence, before I was even born, before I was even a thought. But have these people out here tell you something vastly different, and especially have people from other continents, other places that look just like you will sit up there and tell you that racism doesn't exist. They'll tell you that the system that is in America doesn't exist because they're able to make it. But again, I've given you videos on why it is that they are able to make it, because they come over here with a clean slate. They don't have any of that history. Matter of fact, let me let somebody explain it better to you.
And so
Really?
Nigerian
Wow.
household, it was just super. I went to an all predominantly white private school. I was supposed to be a national merit scholar. I ended up being 6'2", 240. I said, okay, we'll play football. But the beautiful part of Nigerian culture is I had to learn white culture because I was immersed in white culture. And then I got immersed in black culture playing in the NFL in college. And that's why I've realized the disconnect that currently exists in America. There's a color issue, but there's a culture issue. Let's address all of them.
Isn't that interesting that you learned about black culture as an adult playing football?
When white people say, well, racism doesn't exist, I know why they say that, because I've been in them rooms when they saying that. When I kick it with black people and they're like, all white people are racist. I know why you're saying that. All the while, I have the privilege and luxury of not having generational trauma because my parents were born in Nigeria. So man, my method is removing some of the sting because I don't have that sting and trying to deliver a message in a manner that people can receive it.
So you heard what this Nigerian man stated, right? He stated that he learned about black culture later on in life when he started playing football because he was immersed. He was just solely around white people. So he didn't know anything about black people, about black culture. He only knew about white people, white culture, and all of those things. And then the same individual who said that there is a disconnect and there is a color issue and there's a cultural disconnect issue, he also stated to you that due to the fact that he is Nigerian, his family and his parents are Nigerian, he does not have that generational hurt. He doesn't have that history that black Americans have, which means, like I said before, he's coming over here, they're coming over here, and they're starting directly with a clean slate. But yet these are the same ones that tell you that racism, systematic discrimination, and racism, all of these things doesn't exist. And then these are the ones that are trying to be the spokespeople, the spokespersons for black Americans. They're supposed to represent black Americans, even though they didn't even really have a black experience. Their family never even had a black experience. But yet, here we are. We have all of these people coming here to America, and they're trying to tell black Americans what it is and what it ain't. They're trying to tell us how it is that we should do things and what it is that we're not doing and how it is that we could do things better. And again, these are people who don't even have a history here. They were not here when black Americans had to go through the civil rights and Jim Crow, and when we had to go through redlining, and when we had to go through vagrancy laws, and when we had to go through the civil wars and the multitude of wars that black Americans actually fought in, that we technically didn't even want to fight in, but we had to because we felt that it was our only way in order to gain our freedom. That's what we did. We did so much in this country and for this country. And yet, again, people come directly over here and disrespect us. No matter how it is that we are welcoming, that we come to them with open arms, that we show them love and support, we still get disrespected. This is where we are in America. This is what it is, in a sense, means to be black American. If you're black American, you're going to be disrespected. If you're not black American, you're from somewhere else, people are just going to treat you as if you're from somewhere else. Oh, that's nice, that's cool, and yada yada. That's it. It's going to be two different types of tones. It's going to be two different types of engagements. It's going to be two different types of treatments. But like I said, it is what it is. And this is America.